Oh yeah.
Oh, this is
we're
stuff.
good. We're gonna be fine. Let's
go.
get going.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Know Nothing Show.
We're racing back into it.
Damn right we are.
We're racing back into it. Good to be back.
And with some very delicious black coffee.
From Castle Coffee.
Our
local friends here in New Mexico.
Best coffee that you can get, without a doubt.
Best service, too. Best service.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Hands down. We needed a little bit. It's an early start. So we're going to get this show on the road, right? F1 full spoiler review.
Spoilers. Okay,
Full spoiler review.
We'll talk about spoilers.
Because I want to talk about every single thing about this movie. You ready?
Let's go for it.
Roll it. So what'd you think?
It was tough because my heart was racing the entire way home.
Yeah.
My heart was racing the entire way home. Top 5 anticipated movies of 2025.
Yeah, for sure.
Brad Pitt, we knew from the first trailer that this was going to be something special. And it's scary because expectations were high.
Yep.
I was nervous because my expectations were so high. And I feel like it delivered on everything that I wanted it to be. Because I was going in not knowing anything about Formula One racing. I had been watching it for the past month to kind of prepare.
Gotcha.
Still didn't understand. I talked to different people that are F1 fans. And the true F1 fans all told me, oh, yeah, it's a sport and that's all fine and good. But this is about engineering. What are you talking about?
It's all about the tech.
I'm watching this for sports. They're like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
This is an engineer's dream to get to this job. This is one of the highest places that some engineers want to be. And I'm like, oh, it's not like a sport? They're like, oh, it absolutely is. But and I'm a big sports fan. They're like, all right, well, you love basketball. What is a big part of basketball? Analytics and numbers was. I was like, oh, plays and strategies and stuff. They're like, exactly.
Yeah.
F1 has a whole separate thing beyond the person driving in the car.
Yep.
That's what they love. And that's a lot of what this movie is focused on is numbers and
beyond
data.
Beyond the drivers.
Yes. It's not always about the driver. It's
not always about the drivers.
What goes into making the car and all these different things. And that was the complete surprise for me that I really enjoyed because I'm like, oh, we're just going to get in a car and go 500 miles an hour down the road.
Yep.
That's all I want to see. So the fact that this movie had more depth and more detail,
it was more realistic.
F1, I'm like,
right.
Whoa.
Yeah, it really
this is cool.
It tries to paint an accurate picture of F1, but not so accurate that it loses the people that don't know anything about F1, but probably accurate enough to please all the people who do know something about F1.
Correct.
Right. So we have that little middle ground that we're trying to stay in, and that's a great place for this movie to be because it keeps it entertaining for everybody, and that's what I think this movie was. It was entertaining enough for everyone involved.
You don't need to be an F1.
You don't.
I'm not. I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure things out.
Yeah, but
I was not an F1 fan, and I'm like
crazy.
Whoa.
The coolest thing real quick about the F1, the sport, that I think is that these are the best in the world.
Yes.
Right. At all times, what you are watching are the best in the world.
Yes.
It's like if you were watching basketball or any sport and you were always watching the top 20 players play against each other.
It's like all-star game
all the time.
Every event.
It's the Olympics every single time.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is super cool about F1.
Yes.
And that's what is so interesting to me. So even in the movie, they do comment to sometimes about being the best in the world.
Yeah.
Those are the stakes.
And this team was probably the worst of the best.
Correct. Yes.
So again,
worst of the
and
best.
that was an interesting concept to me. And again, we talked about it in Out of Theater, or maybe even before we got to Out of Theater.
Probably.
Your thing was I want them to go against
I do. Yeah.
Which is in all aspects a true sports movie.
It really is.
We're the ranked 32nd team and we got to beat the ranked number 1 team.
Yes, yeah.
And yes, there are elements in that here, but they're trying to beat themselves.
They're just trying to be
they're
better
just
versions.
trying to finish. It
be
doesn't
better
even
versions
matter.
of themselves. No, it really doesn't.
And I liked that.
You like that?
Yeah, so that was the aspect of the sports that I liked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey,
I like
they talked because they said these guys have never even finished top 10. Why are they talking about anything?
Right.
And then that's when the competitiveness to me, that's when it woke up and I'm like, oh, so these guys suck.
They
so
suck,
like now they have to prove them. Like now they have a mission.
They suck, but not like they're the best in the world. Yeah. They're the 20th best in the world. The 19th and 20th best in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's still interesting, right? We put it in that perspective. Yeah, I did have a hard time with it. The bad guy is sort of like F1 the sport, and they are trying to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what the movie is about. I wanted a bad guy.
Yeah.
I did. I wanted another team, a rivalry is what I wanted. I wanted a rivalry with another team, and they have to come in and destroy that other team, and they do so at the last second, which doesn't happen.
No.
Right.
And again, the rivalry was themselves. Like the team
just
was
themselves. The team,
but it is like it's that redemption story.
Yeah.
I loved the old timer coming in with the new kid because again, I started thinking about other sports. You know, people always talking about, oh, could Jordan do it today, or like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys like, oh, they made that example of like, can the old guy compete with the young kids? And to start it off, he couldn't. He's like, it was a different world for him. And this young kid's like, no, we do social media, and we get followers, and we wear the Rolex,
and we practice in simulators.
And this is how we do things.
Yeah.
So it is two very different worlds colliding, and like trying to figure out.
I loved it.
How do we make two different worlds work to get this task accomplished?
I like the analog versus digital. Like I do like that. I do enjoy that quite a bit. I feel like I'm sort of like a person that's in the middle of all that too, right? Like I don't go full digital, I don't go full analog, but it's always kind of cool to see, all right, the old timer still has stuff to teach the rookie, right? And that's always awesome to see. I do wish it also focused more on Brad Pitt's character. I wanted this movie to pick a lane. I wanted this movie to say, hey, Brad Pitt is the main character. We're going to just focus on his story, and we're just going to talk about his arc. And that would have, I think, been a lot of fun to me. Just in the case of trying to be a better version of yourself, let's just focus on him and get him to the finish line. But
it was a team effort.
It was
for this movie. Like everybody had a role that they had to play, but
everyone also had like a story, and that was like I didn't need everyone's story, and I didn't need everyone's like it's a movie. It's not a television show. We don't need like everyone's story. Not everyone needs an arc because then nobody gets like what the amount of storytelling that they deserve. So that was the other part that I was like, gosh, I just wanted a little bit more focus.
Yeah.
And then I think I would have felt more at the end of the movie when Brad Pitt makes it across the finish line. I would have been like, oh, because that was all he ever wanted. And that was,
So did you feel like this felt like Top Gun Maverick? Being the same director, being the same style?
This
being the same like heart racing action.
It feels like Top Gun Maverick, but it feels like a Apple TV version of Top Gun Maverick.
Correct.
Right? It is not a blockbuster that big. In Top Gun Maverick, there are real stakes. There are life or death stakes.
Yeah, and Apple said, no, we
don't want life or death stakes. We just want him to.
Which is not a knock. Like,
we just want him to be really sad if it doesn't work out. Like that's and that to me wasn't enough to make it that must see summer blockbuster. Yes. I still recommend this movie. This movie's 100%. A ton of fun.
I love
the acting in it is still good enough. But I'll be honest with you. When I first saw the trailer, I thought we were kind of going for like Academy Award winning stuff here. And this movie is not that.
No, it's just a summer blockbuster just fun. Popcorn
That's what
movie.
This is. Yes, it's just a popcorn movie.
Leaving Top Gun Maverick, my body hurt. Yes. Like I was in, couldn't move.
This
one I just like, I got out and I was like, whoa, that was fun.
Top Gun Maverick is S tier. Right, like
Top Gun Maverick is one of the best movies in the past 20 years.
So it's hard. So you want them to duplicate that, but they didn't get that.
And that's not to take away from it. That's not to say it's not bad.
Still very entertaining.
Some of the camera movements were awesome. Like when they're racing down and then the camera does the flip to him and then it flips back.
Yeah, they do it a couple of times.
And then the last race, they did one where the camera just for 30-40 seconds is just going down the track, and I thought that was so cool.
The state of flow that he enters.
I thought it was so cool because you do feel like you're driving this car. The camera is very very low. The sound is super
sound design is incredible,
and it's fun.
One of the best parts of the movie is the sound design.
Yeah, it's so loud.
It was loud. We saw it in IMAX.
Yep,
worth every penny.
Go see it in IMAX.
See it in the biggest screen. Loudest sound system.
Again, you don't need to be at all prepared for F1. You don't need to know. Brad Pitt does a good job. I can't remember his name. The kid, so the young racer.
Idris.
Yeah. Idris does a great job.
Yeah.
Like, one of those performances, like, yo, put this guy in more stuff
I agree.
now.
Yes.
Like, put him in more stuff. Put him in an action role.
Yeah.
There's a part where he was jogging, this dude was jacked. Like, so and I get it, F1 drivers have to, like, physically be in this performance.
They're like top athletes.
They are.
They're
the
100%. Best in the world.
So if you talk trash about any driver, like
so
I used to all the time.
About drivers?
Because I'm like, man, drive. No.
They're driving rockets.
No.
You have to be in such great physical shape.
And like, so he was running. I'm like, oh, this guy could be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he could be an action star.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I really hope to see him come back. The other quick thing I wanted to say about this movie that I kind of had it created a little speed bump for me. I'm going to keep doing this. Is like, I don't need a love story either all the time. Like this, like the forced romance of things doesn't always need to be in there.
You can do it briefly.
You can.
And they did it briefly, and I was like, oh, cool.
That was enough.
I was like, nice.
That was enough.
I was like, they did what they had to do. And then it continued. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Why did they finally get love?
Why did she give in?
Yeah. But again, it was fine for briefly.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's character, like, obviously tries to, like, win the what is she? She's like the chief architect, right? The chief engineer, I guess, on the
designing the car.
And it looks like she's not going to budge. Looks like she's not like no chance in hell.
But it was more fun that way.
I agree.
Like, it was more fun. Like,
it was better that way. And when he crossed the finish line, that would have been a good time for her to be like, you can call me if you want.
Yeah, you're legit.
But we didn't need them hooking up. We didn't need them like getting together. Like I didn't need all that. Like you just made it about a love story for 10 minutes, and it felt a little out of place.
Yeah, go watch it. I mean,
absolutely go watch
fun.
It. So much fun.
I will go again. I'll 100% go again.
I would go see this movie again as well.
The action starts from the jump.
I
know you're not big on ratings, but if you had to give it like an A, B, C, D.
You want me to do letter ratings?
I'll do it however you want.
Letter ratings, this is a B. Solid B. I would put it at I would put it at an 8 maybe. Or like it's because for what it is, right? Yeah. For what it's trying to be, that's always my thing. Did the movie do what it wanted to do? And 100%. I think it did.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Like it doesn't the marketing doesn't mislead you. You know exactly what you're going in for. It delivers on what it promises.
Super nice soundtrack.
Check out the soundtrack is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So everybody is just operating at the top of their game, and that's what I always enjoy. Yeah. So regardless of some of my story like things that I didn't enjoy,
you got to find something.
The execution of this movie is top notch.
Yeah,
and I can't knock it for being what it is, right? So
that's all you can ask for, because that's all I wanted.
Yeah,
and for me, it's always rewatchability. What am I going to go pay my money to go see this again? Yeah, I probably am going to.
I will see it again for sure.
I'm going to recommend people because people have texted me once we posted out of theater.
Yeah,
hey, do I go? Is always a question people ask me. It's an automatic yes. I'm going to go back. I'm going to see it again.
Which means that it did its job.
Yep, 100%. Everything was so I cannot wait. Definitely a great start to the summer. We got Superman coming up. We got Fantastic Four coming up.
Lots.
So stay tuned. We are back. We're rolling. You guys are going to see a little bit more out of us. So
absolutely.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to do this.
Let's get back to it.
Let's do it. All right. Until next time.
Peace.
Later.